Now, you've been listening to Paul Bhatia, Paul's back, Astrid, myself, and Sarah. We are here to do some Q&A if you have any questions. And I cannot see the chat box right now, but are there any questions, anybody? Can we see questions?
Don't hesitate to unmute yourself if you have a question.
Yes, good point. You can unmute yourself. I can see a question there about, if I could just say, is there a connection between EU and ESA? This is a direct message question. There kind of is. As far as I know, there's been lots of discussion about Space Europe and the connecting between the two. I'm happy, the person asking that question, if you contact me directly, I'm happy to put you in touch with some people if you can, to help you through, to help you make contact with EU decision makers. Any other questions? I should stop sharing, shall I? No.
I think there are some questions in the chat. There's one from
cheers, Paul.
Flavia. Great work. I'm a big fan of your work, Sarah. Are all these EO data, forest biomass, deforestation risk, created by Ecometrica? Do you add the local knowledge to the development of the data results? If yes, how do you do that? Thanks. I think that's Flavia. Is that right?
Okay, Sarah.
So it's a bit of a mixture, to be honest. I put in the group chat, we have a bit of a, I suppose, a Netflix model in that we develop a little bit of content ourselves, but we also bring in data from other sources. We're data agnostic in the sense we'll take it from anywhere within reason. Obviously, it has to be robust, and what's really important for us is that it's authoritative. You know, obviously there's a lot of work. Everyone's kind of using data at the moment, which is really, really amazing. But I think particularly when we're looking at things around environmental compliance, it's really, really important that the data we use has some level, if not of ownership, then official acceptance of the local governments or agencies that are kind of have the responsibility for whether it's forest monitoring or environmental compliance in that country. We ran a pretty large project called Forest 2020. It was funded by the UK Space Agency under the International Partnerships Programme. And in that, we were able not just to build up our network, but also kind of work with local agencies to kind of improve their own systems and methods so that they're raising the game of their own system monitoring systems and data sets. And through our network, we're able to pull that into the platform to ensure that we not just have kind of nationally accepted data, but we know that it's been improved over time, and there are kind of models and sustainability plans in place so that they'll continue to be improved over time.
Thank you, Sarah. Any other questions?
There's another question in the chat from Nick Keller. So he said,
yeah.
What is the average lag between new satellites or other data arriving and it appearing in this dashboard? Is there or will there be a need for near real time, or is there a more strategic view? So I guess that's the Astrid. And
thanks, Paul.
So I think I answered a little bit of this in the chat, but it's maybe worth expanding. So I suppose it in terms of what's possible, it depends a little bit on the data. So I know that Sentinel-1, Sentinel-2 data, you can get, I think, updates up to between 8 and 12 days. And the University of Leicester, I know, has done a lot of work in this to kind of generate deforestation alerts, and the University of Maryland in the US as well. So I believe you can get up to kind of weekly updates on potential forest change. I'm sure over time there'll be kind of more frequent updates and that kind of thing. I suppose the key thing about any sort of alert or near real-time monitoring is to understand the sort of, well, what are you going to do with it? They're having, you know, throughout the Forest 2020 project and just speaking to customers and users, everyone wants the best available data and they want it as quickly as possible. But I think when dealing with alerts, what you have to ensure is that you have someone who's actually able to act on the alert. Otherwise, they're just sort of piling up. No one's doing anything with it. So I think certainly we do have those conversations with clients and with users to understand, well, what question is it that you're actually trying to answer? Are you trying to trigger an alert so you can have a kind of rapid response, in which case, of course, it makes sense to kind of have near real-time data? Or are you just trying to have sort of slightly more frequent updates, in which case perhaps it makes sense to have monthly updates or quarterly updates, at which point you maybe get a better sense of what's happening. You know, a monthly update is likely to be a little bit more accurate, or if not accurate, you're likely to have a bit more confidence in that than something that's you're sort of getting updates on the fly, as it were. But that's it from my perspective. I'm sure Astrid might have something to add from a more technical perspective.
Well, it probably depends all at what you're looking at. So if you're looking at weather, for example, that's something that changes really quickly. So you want to get an update like as often as possible. If you're looking at forest loss, of course you want to have the quickest update as possible, but when it comes to one tree, as rough as it sounds, but it's not going to disappear within a second. So you might not need a temporal resolution of an hour, but a day or a week is enough. And so satellites, the Copernicus satellites, Sentinel-1 to 6, I think is it now, they provide data on like a 5-day basis approximately. So once a week for one location from one satellite. And you also have the commercial satellites, which provide now information on a daily basis. So depending on how much money you have, you can also get better data. But the data that is available right now for free already is pretty incredible. So use it, look at it, and make the world a better place with it.
Wow, Astrid, that was a super way to end our event. Did you work that out? That was really good.
I just came up with that.
What's that like? Okay, we'll draw a close here. You have all of our contact details there, and you can speak to us, contact us outside of this. I usually think of things 2 days after, really good questions 2 days after an event. I'm really pleased you joined us today, because in this event today, we have tried our very level best to give you everything from a really basic level through the detail level, and then you've got the sophistication of the Ecometrica models and stuff, which I think is really astounding. I hope you found it inspiring. And if you get hold of the EO, you will get hold of the EO browser tutorial, and you will see this on recording. Please continue to talk to us or ask us questions. We're here to help. We hope it's been useful to you. And big thank you to the COP26 Fringe for putting us in their fringe. It makes us feel very fringy and young and groovy and dynamic. Huge thanks to my colleagues Paul, Astrid, and Sarah from Ecometrica. Huge thanks for adding so much to this event, so much breadth and so much interest and so much knowledge. Really appreciate that. We're going to get the link to this Zoom when we're finished and when the link is ready, as well as the PDF. And as I've said multiple times, should you have any questions, get in touch. We're here to help. Anyone else got anything to say? No. Great. Take care. Have a great day. And thank you for joining us.